What's going on, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you with another live video. And today's going to be an awesome show because we are joined by my good friend Paul. And Paul has been selling on eBay and drop shipping for quite a few years. And what's really cool is a lot of people are always wondering, how much does it cost to run a drop shipping business? Like, I'm seeing all these people post their numbers and they're making all this money, but really, are they making that much money? What's the real income? What's the real profit? What are the true expenses that go along with running an eBay drop shipping business? And Paul, over the last 30 days, has done over $115,000 drop shipping on eBay. And we're going to be breaking everything down step by step for you guys. So really excited to have you here, Paul. What's going on, man? How's your day going?
Steve, thanks for having me on. It's always great to be here. Having a great day. Excited to be here.
Super excited. If you guys are excited for this show, because we are live right now, be sure to drop a comment down below and let us know, how long have you been drop shipping? Are you brand new to drop shipping? Have you been drop shipping for 3 to 6 months? What are your results? Because we always tend to get a lot of awesome people in these live hangouts. And there was somebody who was actually in the comments before the show started, and they said they were making over $2,000 a month with only 120 eBay listings, which is really, really cool. So let us know in the comments, smash that like button. But yeah, let's answer some questions before we get started. And actually, why don't you share your story for the people who are brand new? Like, can you share like maybe a 1-minute summary of what you've done, your results, so on and so forth?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll get like more into like the specifics later, but I live here in New York. I lived a very traditional life, the life I was supposed to do. Supposed to live, went to school, went to college, went to graduate school. I went to law school, got a good job by all means, and just found myself not really happy. So I started look at ways to do e-commerce. That's when I kind of discovered a couple of things, didn't work out. And then I discovered eBay drop shipping about 2 years ago. Went all into it, and I've done over $2 million in sales since then. And I really enjoy it. And I've been teaching other people how to do it, both on my YouTube channel, inside my course. And it's just, it's great to not only be doing it myself, but to have a community of other people who are doing it with me. It's pretty cool.
It's amazing how many people you have helped. Like Paul and I, we've been creating videos and working together for about 8 or 9 months. And I wasn't expecting people to be so, to gravitate so much to this eBay dropshipping model. And I remember when I first got started, and I'm being 100% transparent with you, Paul, because Paul and I, we had connected like 3 or 4 years ago at this place called the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and we became friends. Long story short, we were out in the woods eating fruits and vegetables. I know it sounds crazy, but we became friends. But he reached out to me a couple of years later, and we connected, and he told me about this eBay dropshipping model. And I always thought that eBay dropshipping was like a scam, right? I always thought like it was people like, I don't know, hacking the system, or like it was unethical. And I just didn't know. And over the last 8 or 9 months, I've learned so much, and so many people have been starting this business and having success with it. Like, we've got Hayden Scroggins in the house saying, I started 2 weeks ago after I watched all of Paul's videos. In 2 weeks, I have grossed $10,000 in sales with 140 items, which is really cool. We got Justin Spellman saying 1 month, I've made $65 with 3 listings. So only 3 listings. There's a bunch of comments. If you guys are watching live, you can see, but it's been really, really cool. Oh, Road to 1 Million says, I started drop shipping in the beginning of October and made 24,000. I'm not sure what currency that is in sales right now. So if you realize that I can't read the currency, it's because you can do this internationally. Like, you don't have to be only living in the United States. You can be doing this in Canada, the UK. I know there's one person who always watches from Africa, and he's drop shipping. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, I grew up like making money selling on eBay and Amazon, flipping books and physical goods and clothing and shoes. Drop shipping, all you need is a laptop, essentially. Like, what else do you need, Paul, to start a drop shipping business?
All you need is a laptop, internet connection, and just
That's a good one. You need internet, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. YouTube will tell you who's watching your videos from where in the world. So my channel is all about eBay dropshipping or Amazon dropshipping a little bit. And the three biggest places are obviously United States, the UK, and the third is Morocco. So yeah, you can do this from anywhere in the world.
There was a question from Martin from Thrift Store Gold, and Martin's a loyal fan. It's always great seeing you in the comments, Martin. Thank you so much for watching. Martin's asking, how do I start? What's the first beginner step to starting an eBay dropshipping business? And again, guys, sorry about that. We're going to jump into the show in a couple of minutes. We just want to answer some of your guys' questions, and we're going to break down his $115,000 income report. But what's the first step, Paul?
The first thing I would say, you got to educate yourself at least somewhat. There's a ton of videos on YouTube you can watch. I think, Steve, you have like a video series about this, right?
Yeah, the first link in the description, if you missed any of Paul and I's videos, and we've done some private ones as well, if you get on that free workshop first link, you can kind of build a really strong foundation for free.
Yeah, and I always encourage people to do that first before paying for any training, because you got to see if it's for you. And so start there. And once you do that, obviously you're going to need an eBay store, and then you have to start to find the listings, which we go over in those videos. So I'm not going to go too much into that, but yeah, it's all there.
Yeah, it's really not that complicated what you actually have to do. I found from starting my eBay dropshipping store, the biggest challenge is just being disciplined enough to like get past that initial learning curve and learning some of the basic software and stuff. Like when I first started using DSM tool, like it was kind of a pain in the butt to figure out like all the settings and stuff. And, you know, we mentioned before, Paul has a training course, so that helped a lot. Just like figuring out all the buyer policies and different things on the eBay end, and then setting up like the profits with DSM tool. But really, just like any business, like you just got to get started. And once you get past that initial learning curve, it's just a matter of putting in some time each and every day, 1 to 2 hours a day. You could start to really build this business and start getting some results.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say when you're setting up your store on eBay, and we use software to run the business, that's what Steve was just talking about. The initial setup, I'd say about 90% of what you have to do, you never have to do it again. So once you get through that part, the rest is just, learning how to actually implement everything and make it work. And then, at first it could be a little confusing, but you do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then it becomes second nature.
Awesome. We got Jessica R in the house. Everybody welcome Jessica. Glad to have you here. Jessica is mentioning that she is having issues with meeting eBay's shipping time when drop shipping. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are getting our products from other suppliers, other websites like Walmart.com. So you can't have like a 1 or 2 day handling time. So you should go into your business policies and adjust that handling time to 3 days. Do that, and that covers 99% of all the items we order. Plus, you have to make sure that once somebody buys the item from you on eBay, try to have a faster turnaround. Try to, within 12 hours, go onto Walmart, order the item, and have it shipped. So that way it gets shipped out to the customer even faster.
One of the things about drop shipping is, and this is different versus just going to garage sales and thrift stores and buying stuff, is you don't get to physically touch the item. Like when I go to a garage sale or a thrift store and I buy an item, I can inspect it, I can touch it, I can see it. I get to take all the different pictures of it. I really know exactly what I'm selling. And when you're drop shipping, obviously you don't have you don't have the product in your hand. And Sea of Flames is asking a great question. And they're asking, how do you inspect the quality without the product in hand? That's a great question. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
So there's really 2 aspects to this. The first is assuming the product is in 100% good condition, like it's not damaged or anything. How do you know if it's a good product, right? So for that, you just go to the supplier's website like Walmart, look at the reviews. People, if it's a bad item, people are going to let you know in the reviews. So that's the first thing you do. As for the other potential problem, which is what if the item is pulled off the shelf and it's damaged and they ship it anyway, or it's damaged in transit? Well, that is just part of doing business, right? I mean, when you buy an item, when someone buys an item from you as a thrifter and you ship it, it could get damaged in transit anyway. So it's just this, it's the same idea. It's going to happen sometimes. And just like with your thrifting business, you know how to deal with it there. And we know how to deal with it as drop shippers. We just get the item returned and we refund them or ship them out a new one. It's really easy to do as a drop shipper because with these returns, you're not worrying about the return. Walmart's going to send you a free prepaid return label. You give that to the customer and the customer ships it back. It doesn't cost you money to do a return. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. We got 115 people in the house right now on on a beautiful afternoon right now. And you want to know what? I want to reward people. I'm going to switch things up a little bit right now. I want you to type into the comments, Paul rocks. Also, I want you to smash the like button. I am going to choose somebody and I'm going to give you $10 cash directly to your PayPal. So what you got to do is type Paul rocks and smash that like button, and I'll give that a minute. Answer another question. Then I'm going to give away some money to some people right now because I appreciate you guys being here. A lot of people are asking, Paul, why did you switch from DSM tool to Auto? Is it called Auto DS? I'm not familiar. I've heard of the software, but I've never used it. Is it Auto DS?
Yeah, it's called Auto DS. It's very similar to DSM tool. And for those of you watching this, have no idea what we're talking about here. This is just a software I use to run my business. I didn't make this. There's probably dozens of these softwares out there. I've tried a lot of them. I haven't tried all of them, but I've tried a lot of them. And I'm always looking for the one that's not only the one that works the best, but also ones that are the most user-friendly and most affordable. And those are the ones I talk about because I think those are the best, especially for new sellers. So AutoDS kind of broke out on the market about last year, and immediately I saw they were different because they were really innovative. They were keeping to the basics to make it really easy to use, but they were adding all these features that just made the process of selling as a dropshipper on eBay easier and easier. And they're continuing to innovate. If they promise you that they're going to do something, make something, feature, actually do it. So I really like them. I've talked with the owners and I've met with them actually, and I could tell that they really want to make the best product possible. And so that's why I want to support them. And I actually use them because I really like the features that they have with their tool.
Might as well get your feedback on this tool as well, because I know our mutual good friend Tyler, he uses Sale Freaks, and I know it's kind of like a different business model versus what you're doing. And that's the interesting thing I want to mention about drop shipping. There's various business models, right? When it comes to this drop shipping, some people are manually listing, other people are using different softwares, and there's all these different models and stuff. Our good friend Tyler over at Dropship Tyler, big shout out to Tyler, crushing the game. He uses Sale Freaks software. What are your thoughts on somebody using that software versus like DSM tool or Auto DS? Does it really depend on your model?
It depends on your model and where you are with drop shipping. So even Tyler talks about this, that as a new seller, it's a little bit hard to use Sale Freaks. And the reason for that is because Sale Freaks works on a model where it only works right now, at least, to drop ship from Amazon to eBay. And in order for it to work, you have to have it. Well, in my experience, in order for it to work, you have to have a high volume of products listed in your store. You also need a couple other things set up, like you need the Amazon Prime credit card. You need to become tax exempt on Amazon first in order to do really well with it. So there's more steps involved to get started, and it's really not as beginner friendly, I would say. Although some people would definitely disagree with me on that. But in my experience, you need to first get into eBay dropshipping before you use a more advanced tool like that. And I have students of my course who have taken my course. They're doing my model in one store, and they're doing Tyler's model in another store. And they're doing really good with both of them.
Yeah, so I just got my girlfriend started with drop shipping, and she's been watching all of our videos, Tyler's, your videos. Like, she has access to both courses and whatnot. And I actually recommended that she starts with she just joined, the Titans Tribe, your course and stuff, which she was really excited about your welcome video. But yeah, I think you could go either way, but I think for the beginner, like, I think it's less challenging to start with your model first. just because the Sale Freak software is amazing, but it is pretty sophisticated. So, I mean, I guess it's really up to you and your technical abilities and what model you want to choose. But hopefully that answers your guys' question. We got a bunch of people in the comments saying Paul rocks. I don't know why they're saying that. Paul, I need to do a countdown for me from 5, and I am going to choose a random winner to give $10 away from. Give $10 away to. Do you think you could help me out with that? Okay, I think you're muted a little bit.
My dog's barking, so I'm going to stop him while you do the countdown. Is that cool?
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to do a countdown right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I let go of the mouse. Boom. James McConnell, you are the winner. I can't even talk today. I don't know why. James McConnell, you are the winner. What I need you to do is send me an email at raikenprofit@gmail.com. Go into your YouTube account and take a screenshot so I know it's you. And I will send you $10 to your PayPal. Make sure to include your PayPal account inside of that email and reference what video this is from as well in that email. And we will hook you up with that $10. I also want to let you guys know, for the people who entered, I'm going to be giving another $10 PayPal cash away at the end of the show. So do me a favor, smash that like button and yeah, get ready to dive into the show, because we're going to start breaking down Paul's month. $115,000 in sales. Wow. $115,000 in sales. You know, it is Q4 right now, so obviously the sales are ramping up a little bit. This is the holiday season. People are shopping. People are, you know, most retail stores and online stores, they're making, forgot what the statistic was, but I think in Q4, these stores make like 50 or 60% of their income in like a 3-month period. I just kind of made that number up, but I know it's substantial. I know it's substantial. So Paul, if your dog is done barking, I know it probably got finished with the peanut butter before you were telling me about, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I live in New York City, so it's a kind of small apartment. So shut the dog up. I give him peanut butter. Now he's sitting on my lap.
Hey there.
This is him. So he'll be quiet now that he's on my lap. So he's going to join us. He's going to help me out.
Awesome. Awesome. Super cute dog. So if you're ready to rock and you guys are ready, do us a big favor, hit that like button and let us know, you know, we're ready. Let us know you're ready to get your learn on, because we're going to break down his income. So you ready, Paul?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Awesome, man. Whenever you're ready, take it away and share that screen.
Okay. So here we go. All right. So I'm calling this not crunching the numbers, but crushing the numbers. Really, what it takes to run a successful eBay dropshipping business in 2018, 2019. So the reason I wanted to make this was not to brag about how well I'm doing, but it's really to demystify this whole process and to demystify like what it takes, how much money it costs to run a successful business. Because I know
your screen's black, Paul. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm just going to do like this. For some reason, it wasn't showing up the other way. You can see this though, right, Steve?
Yep, looks good.
All right, so this is fine. So we'll just get rid of that. All right, so that's the reason I'm doing this, is just kind of demystify this. And the other reason is because I see a lot of people when they start out, you know, they fall off the horse and they don't get back on. They just give up and they say, oh man, something happened. There's a setback. Maybe this month wasn't as good as last month. And so I'm ready to give up. Like, this just stinks. But I want to show people that I've been in that position. You're going to see my numbers going way back. You're going to see that I've had setbacks. And if you still continue forward with it, especially when you have the setbacks in the beginning, you can get through that. You can still do well with this business and make some money. And that's how you really succeed, is by pushing through and working hard with it. So a little bit more about me. I kind of talked about this already. I did pretty much exactly everything I was supposed to do, like I said, but I wasn't happy with my position in life, wasn't happy with my job, and was kind of looking for a way out. And that's when I started to look at e-commerce. But the problems with all the different e-commerce businesses that I found was that they were expensive and they were just too hard for me, because I wasn't familiar with how to do most of these things. So I didn't know how to build a website. And I certainly didn't have the money to pay someone else to build a website. I didn't have a lot of money to invest in inventory. I didn't have anywhere to store that inventory and couldn't afford a place to store it. And I didn't know anything about marketing. So those were kind of the problems I ran into. And also, I didn't like the idea of when you build your own website, like a Shopify store, for instance, or any other store where you're selling products on your own website, it's like you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Because if that product or that niche doesn't do well, you have to start all over again. So I wasn't comfortable with that idea either. So that's when I discovered eBay dropshipping. And the way this model works, if anyone's not familiar with it, I'll quickly run through it. Down on the left here, we have our customer. This person comes to eBay. They're ready to spend money. They're ready to buy things. So they buy an item from you. Let's say they pay $100 for it. There you are sitting in a coffee shop anywhere in the world, because that's where you can run this business. So once you get that $100, you then go over to your supplier's website and you order it for less, let's say $80. The supplier then ships the item to the customer. You keep the difference in profit. And in a nutshell, that's how it works. So these suppliers I'm talking about, this isn't something fancy. You don't have to sign up contracts with your suppliers. We're talking about regular websites like Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, Overstock, Wayfair. If you can buy stuff from their website, there's a good chance you can use them to dropship onto eBay. So the thing I liked about eBay dropshipping, why it worked for me, is because I was able to sell on an existing website. So I didn't have to buy a website, buy a domain, or set it up. I didn't have to buy any items until someone bought them from me. I didn't need to store any inventory, and eBay handled all the marketing for me. So as a beginner, it just felt so much easier to get into because I didn't have to worry about all these different things. So now that you have a general understanding of what this is, let's go ahead and crush the numbers here. And immediately off the bat, I want to kind of put a disclaimer here, a couple of disclaimers. The first one is that I've been doing this for 2 years, so I have really good numbers right now, and I don't want people to feel overwhelmed by them. I don't want people to say, wow, I'll never get to that point, because I'm going to show you later on some of my new students and how well they're doing with much simpler numbers and realistically what you can expect as a new seller. So don't feel overwhelmed by this. Remember, it took me 2 years to get here, and you're not going to have to worry about all these different expenses I'm going to show you right off the bat. I just want to be completely transparent about what I'm doing with my business here. And the other disclaimer is, of course, that I can't promise you any of the results I have. My results aren't typical. And unfortunately, most people who watch videos like this don't take any action. So they're never going to get any results. But I will show you exactly what I've done and what my numbers are. So we're going to look at the past from November 15th to December 15th. That's a little easy because that's how eBay bills you the 15th of every month. So as you see here, this is my PayPal account. And inside PayPal, it shows I've done $114,952. So not quite 115, Steve, but almost there. I'd say close enough. So $114,952. And the reason I'm showing you the PayPal screenshot here is because I have multiple eBay accounts. So this is just one of them over the same time period. As you see, this one did 85,000. But when you combine all of them together, they've done about 115,000 in sales in those past 30 days, from the 15th to the 15th. So my income from that is 114,952. The second thing I always consider when doing an income report like this is how much was refunded to customers. So that was a little under $8,000. Refunds happen if customers return items, if items were returned by UPS, let's say it's a bad address, if customers cancel orders, various reasons that you might get refunds. But again, the great thing about dropshipping is that because you're not handling the inventory, they're not as big of a deal as if you were handling the inventory yourself. The next thing I always consider are my PayPal fees, which you could see right here. They are $4,765 basically. So I added, it's 764. So I added those in. Again, once items are refunded, PayPal reimbursed me for some of those fees. So that was $228 reimbursed from PayPal. Next, we consider eBay fees. So eBay, in order to sell on their platform at the level that I'm at, I have to pay them a subscription every month. So for my first store, it's basically $300 a month. The second store is only $22 a month. It's a much smaller store. So that brings, and then the other fee they charge is every time you sell an item, they take a little bit over 9% of the final cost of the item. So they charge me $10,600. Refunds, again, they're going to reimburse me if any items were returned. So they reimburse that final value fee. So those were $722 in reimbursements. And I should have mentioned this before, but the PayPal fee is 2.9% plus 30 cents of every purchase. So that's where that number comes from. So everything's there now. We have the eBay fees of $10,232 after you add all that up. The biggest expense, though, is the cost of goods. So someone buys the item from you on eBay. Now you have to turn around and buy it from your supplier's website, Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon.com, Overstock, wherever you're buying it from. This is always going to be your biggest expense. One of the things you'll see about dropshipping is that the margins are much thinner or slimmer than they are for other business models. But a lot of other business models, you're selling maybe $10,000 a month or much less than that per month. Whereas with this one, it's about a numbers game. This is why we're doing over $100,000 a month in sales. So it's really about the volume. So I get this from my credit card statements. I download them, look at the whole statement. And from that, I see that we did $87,648. That's also taking into account any money that was returned to me from the suppliers for refunds. I just use one credit card for this so that it's really easy to see it because it just tells me the beginning balance, the end balance, and all the expenses. So keeping it all in one credit card specifically for buying products just makes this accounting, so to speak, so much easier. So from that, I was able to see that we spent little over almost $88,000 on goods, cost of goods. So I added that in as well. COGS stands for cost of goods. So this is my favorite part, the cash back. So cash back is a way to make extra money on every single sale. So I use a cashback credit card called the Spark Cashback Rewards Card. Every time I spend this thing or use this thing, I get 2% back on my purchase. So I spent,
wow.
Yeah. So I spent $87,000 on this credit card. So I got a little over $1,700 just for using this card as opposed to using a card that doesn't get 2% back.
Is that only on eBay and Amazon, or can you spend that anywhere? That's a really cool card.
So it depends on which card you have. This one I love about this card is it's 2% wherever you use it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's 2% and it's unlimited. A lot of cards are not unlimited. This is free the first year. Then after that, it's $100 a year, but well worth it. And I just realized I think I actually messed up this number because you see here the eBay fees, $10,000. Yeah. I pay that eBay fee with this card as well. So this number should be a little bit higher.
Maybe 2,000 or more.
Yeah, I can't do math off the top of my head, but whatever.
Somebody help us out.
Whatever 2% of 10,000 is, just add that on top of there. And that's a little bit extra cash back right there. So yeah, you can use it for anything and you get 2% back. There are lots of cards out there. This is one of my favorites because it is unlimited cash back. But there's more ways to get cash back because I also use cashback websites like this one. This is Giving Assistant. There are a ton of these cashback websites. This is one I use a lot though. So you can go to givingassistant.com and check this out. sign up for an account. Then in the search bar up here, you type in whatever supplier you use. In this case, I typed in Home Depot. This came up. This is just a part of a screenshot of the website. And then if I click this salmon colored or pink colored button on the right, that's going to take me directly to Home Depot. It's going to look like the exact same website. It is the exact same website. I do my shopping on there as normal, but just because I click this button, I get cash back. So it's that simple. One thing I will say is, you see up here, it says 8% cash back. That's only in certain categories. So if you look further into it, you'll see that you get about 4% back. It changes all the time. But in this case, it's been about 4% back. And you might realize that 1,700 is not 4% of 87,000. But I found that unfortunately, these websites don't work 100% of the time. I just want to be like completely transparent and honest about that. They don't always pick up on the fact that you placed a purchase. So I always factor in they work about half the time. So half of 4% is going to be 1,753. So the same amount I made on the credit card. Now, as a new seller, you can actually keep track of these. So anytime you press this button and place a purchase, you can write it down. And if Giving Assistant doesn't record it, you can actually email them and say, hey, you didn't record this sale. You owe me another $2 or another $3. But since I'm higher volume, it's just unsustainable for me to do that. But as a new seller, that's something you could do. So you get 100% of the cash back you're owed. So that brings the total cash back to $3,500. We'll add that in there as well. And some other expenses. So we talked before about AutoDS. That's about $150 a month. I use another software called TrackerBot. TrackerBot will automatically upload tracking numbers from my email account into eBay. So as you imagine, with these kind of numbers, I'm doing a lot of sales a lot of orders every single month, and even every single day, hundreds a day. So in order to upload all those tracking numbers manually would be a lot of work. So once the item is ordered from like Walmart or Home Depot, they email us a tracking number a couple of days later. TrackerBot automatically uploads that tracking number to eBay. They catch about 95% of them. So it greatly reduces our workload for only $20 a month. So really awesome deal right there. Virtual assistants, I spent about $2,400 on. These are workers I've hired from countries like the Philippines and India. Their wage there is about $2 an hour US, which is a good living for them and a good deal for us. So they work remotely on my eBay stores. They keep the whole thing running at this point. I've set the whole thing up. They know how to operate it and run it. And they do 95% of the work. I spend about less than an hour a day on it, probably closer to 20 minutes, depending on the day. Sometimes, high level issues that come up, I'll address them. I'm in charge of that because it's my business after all. But day-to-day operations, and most of the time, they're running the entire business and I don't have to do much at all.
Wow. That's really cool. So like, what are some tasks that they do?
Everything, Steve. So a typical store, you have to list items onto your eBay store. That's so easy to outsource. So many virtual assistants already have experience with that. Fulfilling orders. So that means you get the order on eBay, you have to purchase it from Walmart. Virtual assistants know how to do that. They can do that. If you think about it, it's a pretty simple task to do. If you know how to shop online, if you've ever bought something online, you can fulfill an order. So these virtual assistants can definitely handle that. So that's something they do. Customer service is something they do, answering questions, doing returns, everything they can do. The only things that I do on a day-to-day basis is I pay off my credit cards, which I have to do a couple times a week. I answer the high level issues. So if there's a customer that for whatever reason, my virtual assistants can't help them, They
Yep.
send that message to me, and I take care of it. I maybe get average one of those a day at most. They can
That's not bad.
handle, yeah, and I think that's
Ca
pretty much it.
can I ask you a question, jump in, just out of curiosity? How many VAs do you have right now?
Mm.
Approximately like 10 or so?
Yeah, I have, I think about 8 or 9. Um, but a big disclaimer about that is when I set up my business, my eBay business, um, I really didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't know. It was my first online business, my first business, period. So I hired way too many virtual assistants. And I've learned since then that there's a much more efficient way of doing it.
Mm.
You can have for my business, really only would require a team of about 3 virtual assistants to run it. I set mine up wrong, but it's working. And, these are real people that I've hired to work on my business.
You built that relationship with them.
Yeah, I trust them. They trust me, and I'm not going to let them go just to downsize. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Got it.
If any of them leave, I won't replace them. So I've had one leave because he got a full-time job. So really happy for him. And it worked out well for me because I just gave that work to someone else. So there's definitely ways to streamline this. You don't need 8 or 9 virtual assistants.
How,
Most people, go for it.
oh, sorry to interrupt you. I was going to ask you, and I know you were saying you don't need that many, and you kind of set it up the wrong way at
Yeah.
first. Do you have any tips for like, this is one thing I'm like struggling with in terms of my business is like, I always had the belief that hiring people would like solve the problem of like having to get all the work done. And it does, but it also creates another problem of having to make sure that their work gets done the right way. And like when a new project comes in, like you have to manage the whole process. Do you have any like quick tips before we keep moving on in terms of how you manage that many people? Because like I said, it brings a new problem about when you have to start managing other people's tasks and their outcomes and results.
Yeah. And so this was part of what I meant when I said I set it up wrong was I didn't hire always the right people. When you're doing the hiring process, you really want to look for an independent worker, someone who's able to learn it and then just run with it. So that's part of the hiring process, and I teach this in my courses, but because I really think it's important to hire the right people. Once you get them hired, you then want to train them in a way that so they can run it all on their own, that they're not going to need you to constantly look over their shoulder. And then you got to trust them, right? That's really the key here. You got to, maybe come down on them hard a couple of times, like right in the beginning, if they're not doing it up to par.
Set
So
your
they really,
standard.
yes. So they really understand right from the beginning that this is the way you want it, and you're not going to compromise on that. And they'll understand that, just like any employee will understand. Okay, any employee looks at the work culture. If the boss isn't, over their shoulder, taking it seriously, or reprimanding people, they think they can slack off. But if the boss is like, no, this is like a business. I want you to be a part of it, and I want you to be a team player. That motivates people in a different way. So that's kind of the attitude you have to have.
Got it. What's your dog's name again?
Orlando.
I was like doing the best I could to not start cracking up because when you were talking, I heard this growl in the background and I'm just laughing because people probably have no idea what that is because you're on a screen share.
Yeah, he's being a bad boy today. I'm not sure why.
Awesome, man. Let's keep moving on. Appreciate those tips.
Oh yeah, awesome. Okay. So, the last one here is miscellaneous. So this is one other piece of software I use to work with my virtual assistants to kind of manage them in terms of customer service. Not necessary at all. And also, I have to worry about sales tax because I do a high volume of sales. So I pay a software to help me manage sales tax. Again, as a new seller, those are not things you're going to have to worry about. So I kind of just lump them together.
Do you use TaxJar?
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I use TaxJar. Yeah.
Awesome.
So TaxJar, once you start worrying about sales tax, TaxJar just automates the whole sales tax process. Sales tax sounds scary, but they make it so easy.
Perfect.
All right, so let's add this all up. Total profit. just over 5 grand for the last 30 days or so. So
Awesome. Very cool.
yeah. So those are past 30 days. This is pretty much all time. I've done over $2 million since I started. It has allowed me to quit my job to do that and talk about it on YouTube and to help other people with it. So it's really been a life-changing experience for me. It's been a life-changing experience for other people. It's working for them as well. These are some of my students who are doing well with it as well. But like I said, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed when they see numbers like this, because we all started, like myself, all my students, we all started from zero. And when you first start out, you see these are my numbers. February, I started to see a little growth in 2017. March, started to do well. Then April, boom, back down. So I had a rough start to eBay dropshipping. I didn't know what I was doing. Took me a while to get my footing. But once I figured it out, that's when sales really started to take off and do well. So that's what I mean when you get a setback like that, especially as a new seller. It's so easy to want to just throw in the towel and give up. But I'm so glad I stuck with it, because it really, really has paid off for me. So if you're a new seller, I talked before about eBay store subscriptions. You don't need that as a new seller, so that's going to be $0. eBay charges you money to list items, but they give you 50 of those for free. So that's going to be $0. The software I use, AutoDS, you can get a month-long trial for just $1. So there's $1 there. All those other softwares I talked about, TrackerBot, TaxJar, all those other ones, you don't need those in the beginning. And you don't need virtual assistants in the beginning. So not something to worry about. And the fees will be, the eBay fees and PayPal fees will be something you have to worry about, but only once you make a sale. So you'll pay more, yes, but only when you make more. So this is realistically the cost to get started with it. So you don't need to worry about buying inventory up front, taking pictures or fancy camera equipment, inventory, packing tape, packing labels, carrying boxes, all that sort of stuff. So I hope that gives people a realistic idea of how this works. I do want to close by saying that this does take hard work to get started. This is not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's not going to make you a millionaire, but it does work. It is making people money. It is changing people's lives in their own way, but it does take work to get there. Like, nothing like this is going to be easy. If anyone tells you it is, they're probably lying to you, in my opinion. I'm sure, Steve, you agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things I found valuable about this, and I know it probably maybe disappointed some people, because in the dropshipping community, everyone's sharing these big numbers, 40,000, 50, 100,000. And a lot of people out there, unfortunately, and people who, start watching my channel and they see these videos, they think it's a get rich quick scheme, but there's actually a lot of expenses and costs that go into it. Like, even like in the title, like 115,000 in sales, like it's somewhat clickbaity. And like, we want to set realistic expectations for people that even with $115,000 in sales, you had over $100,000 or more than that in actual expenses with cost of goods and virtual assistants and eBay fees and subscriptions and software. So, if you're looking for a business and you're trying to make $50,000 a month within 3 months, like, it's just not going to happen. But if you're looking to make an extra couple $100, or if you're like Paul and I, and you're like, all right, I'm going to put in 3, 6, 9, 12 months of work, you can build an income stream that pays you an extra $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. And Paul has gotten to the point where he's outsourced mostly everything. Like, in terms of your business, the last 30 days, how much time do you think you actually physically put in to run your business to make that 5,000 profit?
To the eBay business, I would say just a couple hours a week. But this is a business. If issues come up, they're on me to solve them. So this weekend we had one issue with a Home Depot website started to act a little weird. My VAs couldn't place orders, so I spent a lot of time fixing it, figuring out a solution. But the great thing is that there's a community here, people helping each other. Everyone in the community had the same issue. So we were talking like inside my Facebook group. We were talking in there. And the great thing is with a group like that, that's just for members of my course. So people in there are serious about it. So people are sharing good information and really trying to help each other out. And so we were able to work together to find solutions to the problem. And we shared it with each other and worked it out. We taught it to our VAs, and now things seem to be back to normal. So, that's what you got to expect as a business, but most of the time, no, you don't run into issues like that. And you could just spend a little bit of time on it.
So if you guys are wanting to get started with eBay dropshipping, I would give you guys a couple piece of advice. I'll give you some free options, and I'll also give you a paid option as well. If you want to get started, you don't have a lot of money right now, I would recommend going to Paul's YouTube channel. He's got a ton of free videos over there. What's your YouTube channel, Paul?
It's my name, Paul J. Lipsky, or you just search for Paul eBay and I'll come right up.
Also, if you look in the description, the first link in the description, you might have to refresh your page, but it's a free eBay dropshipping workshop. It's essentially a bunch of videos that Paul and I recorded together. Also, that'll opt you onto the email list where we're going to send you a lot of free content regarding eBay dropshipping, so on and so forth. So definitely get on that email list. Also, if you get on that email list, anytime we go live or we're talking about dropshipping or we have any free content, we'll send that over to you. There's a lot of other great dropshipping channels as well on YouTube. Just type in dropshipping, and there's a lot of people. Our good friend Tyler was in the comments. Dropship Tyler, he's great. He's got a different business model, but it's very effective as well. Also, do you have a Facebook group as well, or is that just for members?
That's just for members of the course. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to talk real quick about what your course is for people who are looking for like a step-by-step program?
Yeah. So it is a step-by-step program. On YouTube, I do have a lot of free content out there. I talk a lot about eBay dropshipping, but really the course is designed for those people who want to get started right away with it, don't want to have to try to figure it out on their own. They want that step-by-step system. Because as opposed to YouTube, where I talk about eBay dropshipping, inside the course, I show how. So I show how to get set up. I show you exactly all the settings you need on eBay, inside your software, the best software to use. And then I show you exactly how to find the right products to list up, how to sell those products. This is the same system that those students I showed you, they went through it. And one of the things that I really love about it is the community we've built around it. So like I said, we do have that private mastermind Facebook group, and people are always in there helping each other. That's only for paid members. And when people pay for something like that, they're more committed to it. So they are just more committed to showing up, providing valuable experience for other people, and from learning from other people. So it's a really active Facebook group and a really helpful one. I'm active in there as well. And another thing that I'm really committed to doing is constantly updating the course as things change. I launched this course less than a year ago. I've already updated it, I think 2 or 3 times, because I just want it to be 100% up to date and the best course available. It's kind of like my commitment to you. So that's pretty much what it's about. It's just a step-by-step system.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'm curious, are any of Paul's students of the course in the comments right now? If you've gone through Paul's course, I'm going to put you on the spot right now because this channel is all about transparency. Let us know, have you gone through the course? What were your thoughts on it? Did it help you to build your business? So feel free to share it in the comments. For the people who are watching this after the live, you'll still be able to look in the comments and see what people are saying and stuff. So definitely check out the comments and let us know if you have gone through it. Let's give away another $10 gift card, $10 cash right now, and then we'll finish up by answering some questions and adding as much value as possible. So, Paul, what do you want the people to say right now? I know you love this part of the show. You get to have everyone do what you want. What do you want them to say right now in the comments to enter into this $10 PayPal cash giveaway?
I want everyone to say hi to my dog. So say hi, Orlando. Like,
oh man,
in Florida, Orlando. And I also say that I see some of my students here. I see Will just posted. He's inside my course. So I know you're looking for those guys. So they're here.
Hey, Will, I just sent you an email the other day. I know we were having some trouble giving you your bonuses. I apologize about that, but I sent you an email yesterday, so hopefully you've been taken care of. If not, I've got your back, but great to see you in here, Will.
Look at that, Orlando. Everyone's saying hi to you. Look at that.
Brian S says Paul's course tells you everything to be successful, 100% worth it. So looks like we got another student in here as well. Awesome. Cool. People saying that they love your videos. Look at all these people saying hi, Orlando. So can you give me a 5-second countdown? And I am going to go ahead and choose a winner. So if you want to enter quick, say hi, Orlando. I'm giving away $10 right now. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. We got 140 people watching live.
Okay, ready for the countdown?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. All right. Here we go. We've got PTG Pound Game 247. PTG Pound Game 427. What a name right there. Gotta give you credit for that name. I love it. So you are the winner. So the two winners today is James McConnell and PTG Pound Game 427 coming in with the quick $10 cash. So this video, hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video, and I appreciate you guys liking the video and being so awesome in the comments. That's one of the best things about YouTube is just the community. That's why I always recommend people, like if you're starting an eBay business or an Amazon business or a dropshipping business, start a YouTube channel as well and document your journey, share your wins, share your losses, because when you start putting yourself out there, even though it's scary, like you attract an audience and you're able to serve and help. And then people want to be around you because you're helping them. And then you get to meet amazing people. Like, I'm just so grateful for all you guys, for this YouTube channel, for you, Paul. So it's just awesome. Just being a part of the community. So I highly recommend for you guys, start a YouTube channel, share your journey, drop shipping, right? PTG says that's my gamer tag. Awesome. So we got a gamer in the house. What's your favorite game, PTG? I want to know. So also, PTG, send me an email at raikenprofit@gmail.com. Take a screenshot from inside your YouTube and mention that you are the $10 winner, and I will send you over a PayPal payment. So appreciate that. Do you mind if we answer a couple questions, Paul, and before we head off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Oh, and I did want to mention as well, people were asking about your course and how to access it. If you go down below, there's a link, the second link in the description. If you want to check out his course, you can go through there, and there's some bonuses as well. If you go through my affiliate link, I'm also throwing in 5 bonuses, a bunch of eBay ebooks and guides and a bunch of freebies and stuff. So definitely check out that link if you want some free bonuses as well. So one of the questions that I had received, and I wrote a few down, was, is it okay to have multiple eBay accounts? Because a lot of people watching already have like a thrifting business, or they're doing garage sales. They might have like a specific physical business that they're using. Should they open another account, and is it legal? Because on Amazon, if you open multiple accounts without permission, you can get kicked off. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you can do it on eBay. I think you can have up to 8. And the limit actually is not imposed by eBay, but by PayPal. So I'm pretty sure eBay doesn't actually have a limit. You can have multiple. I think if you're starting a new eBay store, if you're starting drop shipping when you already have a thrifting business or retail arbitrage business, then it's a good idea to start a second store. And that's mostly to keep your policies different. I think a lot of you thrifters or RAers can get items shipped out the same day, which is pretty awesome. But with drop shipping, you can't really do that. So I would keep those separate. It also keeps accounting easier. So it's easier to keep track of profits for one business as opposed to the other. But you can have 2. Yeah.
Awesome. Dad 7000 is asking, so you need money to buy products after customer places an order?
So if you are brand new if you're experienced if you're experienced on eBay and you already have history on PayPal, then someone gives you the money on eBay or they do it through PayPal, you can use that money right away to buy the item and ship it to the customer. Now, new sellers, since PayPal is still around now, new sellers have to go through something called PayPal jail, is what we call it. It's just like a 3-month or less probation period. PayPal will hold your money that is sent to you from a buyer until the item has been delivered to them, until you have a tracking number showing it was delivered. And you upload that tracking number through eBay, but PayPal gets it. Once it's delivered, PayPal releases the money to you. So that's kind of one of the snafus as a new seller. You have to kind of get through that. If you use a credit card, and you can responsibly use a credit card, then you use it to buy the item. Once PayPal releases the money to you, you can use that money to pay off the credit card. And that's what I did when I started.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. We got a question from Hussein, and they're mentioning, hey, Steve, hey, Paul, I live and work in Germany, and I do eBay full-time in Germany, EU market. Will this course for drop shipping help me out? We don't have Walmart or Home Depot here in Germany.
So my course teaches you how to sell on eBay.com. I don't teach how to sell on other eBays around the world. But a lot of students from outside the United States do sell on eBay.com. There are ways to do that. And some of my students have taken the course anyway and have applied it to their own home countries. I see a lot of people from the UK who do that. So you will have to adapt it, but I want to be transparent that I only know how to sell on eBay.com.
Okay, cool. We got a $1.99 super chat from Ninja Hyper saying Paul is the best, Diego. Who is this Diego fellow? Do you know Diego?
I got to see his picture. Sometimes I don't recognize the name, but sometimes I recognize the photos.
Hey, we appreciate that, Diego. That's awesome. Thanks so much for the support. Gemini 6 Gems is saying, odd question. Can a PayPal be linked to a savings account? I think it has to be a checking account.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be a checking account.
Road to 1 million eBay DS store says, Hussein, I am from Germany too. Check out my channel and let's connect. Awesome. So we have another drop shipping YouTube channel. Check out Road to 1 million. Yeah, if you guys have a YouTube channel as well and you're sharing your journey, let us know in the comments. I'm all about sharing everybody and bringing you guys to the surface. So if you guys are drop shipping as well, and if you ever want to come on my channel and talk about your story and just kind of share your journey, definitely reach out. The best way is on Instagram at Raiken Profit. Just send me a message. And one of my goals for 2019 is I want to bring on a lot more guests and just share people's story, because a lot of times we watch these videos and we're like, wow, like Steve's making money, Paul's making money, Tyler's making money. But a lot of times we're like, can we really do it? Maybe there's something special about them. And the thing is, and I know, just by being in your Facebook group with all the people who joined your program, there's so many people out there who don't have YouTube channels, everyday people who are making money drop shipping, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I see people, not everyone puts themselves out there. And I get that. But, I have people reach out to me privately saying how well they're doing. They say, I'm not a very public person, but I just want to say thank you. And this is what you've done for me. This is what you helped me with. So it's really cool to hear those stories, but it's also cool to hear people putting themselves out there on YouTube or Instagram, sharing their results. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
We got Yo Yost dropping a $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Yo Yost, you have been dropping the super chats hard over the last couple of weeks. Definitely appreciate that. Yo Yost is asking, do you think this method of drop shipping will be viable for more than 2 years? Will it be controlled or will it get oversaturated? So what are your thoughts, Paul, for the people who are on the fence about starting because they're worried about this particular model becoming oversaturated and not being effective in the future?
This model has been around since eBay started. So it's been around for a long time. And I think it's going to continue to be around for as long as eBay's here, and people do it on Amazon as well. People do it on any website you can sell on. So I think it's always going to be around. You have to realize though that things change. So you have to adapt as things change. So the way it exists right now won't be around. My guess is 5 years from now, it will be different somehow. But if you're willing to adapt or to learn from someone who's willing to learn how to adapt, then yeah, you can definitely keep it going in one form or the other.
Man, that is so right. With any business, man, with any business I've been a part of over the last 5 years, if I was to look back, they're all different. And to be 100% transparent, like there's been some business models that I just gave up on and quit. Like I still make money from them. Like for example, Kindle publishing. I don't know if you guys knew, or I don't know if I ever told you, Paul, but about 3.5 years ago, I was making over $10,000 a month with my Kindle publishing business. And I was just publishing ebooks. And then I was turning them into physical books with CreateSpace and audiobooks. And then all of a sudden, like Amazon changed all the rules and everything. Like pretty much they changed everything. And I was like, I was so new to business. Like I just kind of gave up. But now I have friends of mine who never gave up and they adjusted. And now the business is completely different. They're making just as much money still. But you want to know what? I gave up on it and they didn't. And I think the same thing is going to happen with dropshipping. Like the rules are going to change. eBay is going to change the rules. The model is going to change. But the only question is, are you going to change or are you going to give up?
Yeah, I completely agree. And you see that everywhere. Like I'm sure you've gone to maybe you've gone to thrift stores or maybe a Target where you used to buy a lot, and all of a sudden
100%.
one day the manager says, "Oh, you can't do that anymore." Do you give up or do you just figure out a different way to do it? Right?
Yeah, Target's been doing that lately. I have a good friend, his name's Jameson, and he travels the country. He's on pace to do like $1 million this year, just buying from Walmarts and Targets. They keep kicking him out of the store now. Like literally, he'll be at checkout with like $5,000 worth of stuff, and they won't let him check out anymore. They're kicking resellers out of Target. But you want to know what? Now he's doing online arbitrage. He's adjusted. He's doing wholesale. So, I mean, couldn't have said it any better. Will Gagnon is saying Kindle equals heard that. Once the big boys started realizing profits, you have to adapt, bob, and weave. Absolutely. So just want to give you a final thank you, Paul, for coming on the show. And I really want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us and watching this video. I know there's 1,000,001 other things that you could be doing right now on a beautiful afternoon, but you decided to hang out with us, invest in yourself, learn. Hopefully you guys are taking notes and aren't just passively watching. But even more importantly, I've found, Paul, in business, the most important thing is to obviously research, study, like get a course, right? Watch videos, take notes, like do what you got to do to build up that knowledge. But what's more important, what's really going to get you the results and change your life isn't going through a course, isn't watching videos, isn't even watching this video, but it's spending 2 to 3 to 4 times more time implementing what you've learned. So if you spend 20 minutes learning, spend an hour and a half implementing it and taking action. Even if you screw up, even if you mess up, even if everything goes wrong, you're going to extract so much more value. Your business is going to grow so much more by actually doing versus just sitting back. So I really wanted to get that point across. Do you have any final words, Paul? Man, really appreciate you coming on.
I can't follow up that one. That was a great word. But if anyone has any questions, just leave them in a comment underneath this video, and I will come back every couple of days and check in. But Steve, I always love being here. Thanks so much. Anytime you want me back on the channel, just let me know.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you. And thanks everyone for watching. If you guys loved and enjoyed this video, hit that like button right now. It really helps to get this video out in YouTube's eyes. The more likes, the more comments, YouTube will spread it. So it can definitely help and change people's lives by you hitting that like button. And again, follow Paul on his YouTube channel as well at Paul Lipsky. Just type in Paul Lipsky dropshipping. You'll be able to find his channel. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one and have a great day, guys. Thanks.